Alright, welcome back to my channel for our second video, and as you can tell from the title, our second nuke in a few days. This is again going to be a post commentary. I didn't expect to do so well with the M51, which is what we're obviously using. The aspect ratio again also is a little bit funky, but I promise in the future videos it will be corrected. Again, I play at ultra wide, so when I'm recording, or in the future when I plan to record videos or long format videos, it will be back to 16:9, so that's completely on me. We're here in our first game in the M51. This is genuinely the first game I've ever played in this tank, and we actually got a nuke, which is crazy. You can probably tell I'm using the premium version, and we're jumping into our game plan, which is to hold this corridor that a lot of tanks run down through. On the side, we're playing a battle game, so a good format for this type of gameplay, where you're gonna try and get a nuke because there's just a better chance of it on a map like this with the battle game mode. Pretty early on, we make a bit of a hash of that shot, but we do end up getting an early kill here. And look, at this point in the battle, I'm not really expecting much. Like I said, first game in the tank, gonna see what happens, but we get a little bit lucky with some excellent scouting from our team over here, and we get the shot off in there, and I get a bit of splash damage, no direct hit, and then I think I see a tiger move up here. Perfect timing with the reload, just stops there, so that gives us a super easy kill. But at this point in the battle, we're really just holding steady. No one's really pushing up very far. We get a lucky look again and take out his transmission on this Panther, so that makes it a pretty easy one for us to go and clean up, and we do. And we've got 2 kills now. The battle started to settle down a little bit, and we've really made this spot our own. There's someone up there on the hill behind the trees, as you can see. Can't really see them, but when it's sort of like this, it is worth sending a few up there. We get a track, which is pretty handy. But unfortunately, I think the next shot's probably online, but we hit a tree. And, you know, we're sort of just sitting around waiting to see what happens. And we fire again and hit another tree. And then, you know, it's sort of a situation here where we're like, okay, one more. We get a hit. We're a little bit to the left. But I think at this point, we've given away our position to this SU-85. And he gets us. So only the 3 kills to start us off, and at this point I'm thinking this is possibly going to be a decent battle for a short, but we really need the second spawn to do something for us. So back into the battle again, using one of our backups with the premium M51. And while we drive back into the battle, I just wanted to explain a little bit around this, because you might be wondering how on earth I have a premium tank like this M51 that I've never played. I have 2 accounts. One that I played way back in the day. I started playing War Thunder in 2014, and I think I stopped playing somewhere around 2018. I stopped for probably about 2 years. I lost access to this account that this tank is on for probably the next 5 years. And it wasn't until I built a new computer and logged in with Steam, downloaded everything again, and logged into War Thunder that I somehow just logged back into this account. And that was really odd, because I got access back to an account that had my IS-7, Object 279, and a whole heap of the other tanks that you've seen on the channel that are a bit more rare, or a little bit more expensive. I have a second account which I started playing on probably sometime around 21, so about 3 years after I stopped playing. That has a lot of the more recent ones. So we've got some pretty cool tanks on there that we'll look at in the future as well. But just sort of explain that, because you may see similar names but a little bit different names from time to time. Really good timing for us to come back here, and once again we've got another Panther just sat there. We get a good shot off that sort of neutralizes him, and we can get the second shot off and kill him. So we can peek and we can see another Panther. We get his driver, and we're going to try and squeeze a shot in here into him, and we do so. We're pretty lucky that he didn't see us there, because he definitely would have had a shot on our turret. And it's decent turret, but it's, you know, if you know where to shoot, it's not going to stop Panther round from getting in there. And at this point, we're starting to have the enemy team push back towards us. They've pushed away the guys that pushed up past the mid-map. And now we're trying to decipher where people are through the trees. I love winter maps because they're so hard to see through trees. We spot another guy coming up here. Yet another Panther. I'm not entirely sure what he was doing or who he was looking for. And I'm not entirely sure how that only gets us one crew member dead. A really weird one. I mean, I don't know. You know, call it for yourself. I feel like that should have given me the kill, but, you know, whatever. No one knows better than the giant snail. We get the assist on him and we get our track taken out. I see who that is, and I get pretty fortunate here that he doesn't get that shot off on us. I figure at this point I'm probably going to die, so I just send the round up there to take out the tiger's ability to shoot me. Seemed like a good idea. And really just probably a lucky shot, but a pretty good shot, I'd say, to get him and knock him out. I'm not sure why the JPZ has stopped shooting at me at this point. I just thought that the anti-air might still be around that area, so while we have a 26-second repair, it's probably worth shooting. We only have 3 crew left now, so again, I'm not sure if he got killed, but I'm not entirely sure why he hasn't shot at my driver again. That was a really unlucky shot. I mean, he really just dodged us there. He's coming down. He hasn't seen us clearly, or he has now. We get a shot off and get his gunner loader engine transmission. We will get out before he has a chance to reload those crew, and we'll send a shot up onto his left side. Sort of feel that's a little bit unlucky again, not to have taken out both of the crew on the left side. And then he just makes a mistake and a bad shot, which makes it easy for us to take out his driver. And I don't even think we get the driver kill. I think his fuel exploded. So again, not sure how all these crew members on the enemy team are surviving, but you know, it's the fun and games of using a heat round in War Thunder, particularly one of these lower BR heat rounds. They sort of, yeah, they make things up on their own. So at this point, we're at the top of the leaderboard. We're feeling pretty good, and you know, I'm feeling like sweet. First game in, got the clip for the M51. You know, if I die now, I'll probably do a second game, maybe a third game, just to see if I can better it. But you know, 7 kills in a tank like the M51 sort of feels like it's a decent one. I'm also pretty shocked that we haven't been bombed yet, because you know, we'd killed a few people and we're sitting in this sort of zone. So I was pretty sure that that guy was about to bomb us, but no bombs. Lucky us. And it's about at this time I actually hear someone moving up around the left. I had a fair idea that it would probably have been the one guy I saw scoot across that way while I was watching in front of me, which was an anti-air. So I'm just watching up here, really listening to try and see if I can hear him coming around there. I figured he's probably going to try and find me. And then I see his barrels, and I try and shoot them because I thought I could get an overpressure. I'm not sure if I shot high, maybe? I don't really know what happened to that round. Get a bit lucky that he doesn't realize that I'm right here. And that shot does the job. We get the overpressure on his crew, and he's done. So, I'll admit, I probably didn't actually see that I was at over 2,000 spawn points yet. I really didn't think I'd played well enough to be anywhere near the spawn points required. Get a bit lucky there. I'd reverse at the last second, call it Spidey senses, and yet another Panther gets cooked by our heat round. I think we just were angled at just the right way, reversed back enough for the angle, the double angle, to bounce him, which was very fortunate for us. I see the one of my favorite tanks pushing up, the Jagdpanzer 470mm, or just the Panzer 470mm pushing up. I love it. Get a great shot off. Got lucky with the gun handling that. The gun lane didn't bounce too much, and that guy just fires a random shot from the hill. So at this point, we're pretty good because even if we get killed, there's a good chance we get enough spawn points to get the nuke. So I'm thinking about the 2 tanks that I know of. One on the hill and one over to my right. So we see that tree sway out of the way, and that's where I locate him. So I've got an idea of where he is, and we just send a round there, and luckily for us, that was actually the Waffentrager, and it was an easy tank to kill. At this point, we've got enough for the nuke. So just like in our last video, I don't go straight into the nuke. I'm thinking about that tank to my right, and I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to be greedy, but let's check this hill, make sure there's no one up there, and then let's have a look at what we can do with the tank on our right. There's every chance that the tank on our right will be able to knock us out, but the risk reward of it is well worth it, because if we take him out, there's no one really forward pressed to stop our team, and if we don't, we still get to spawn in the nuke. So artillery fire comes in. I pop some smoke just to give myself a bit of extra cover, because I'm going to circle back around. In hindsight, knowing what I know now, I probably should have pushed around the front, but I wasn't 100% sure if there was someone still up on that hill we were shooting at. So at this stage, we sort of push back around behind, and we're really just looking to see what we're dealing with over here. And I see him. It's a Tiger. He spotted me. Gun handling again. I don't know why my cannon was pointed so far down. But yeah, we get wiped out by him, which is a bit unfortunate. But we spawn up in the B-29 with the Mark 6 nuke. And this is always such a stressful time for me, because you are, with most of the other nukes in the game, you have a distinct advantage because of how fast the planes are at the relative BR. It's only at the BRs that make you spawn with the B-29 that actually, I guess, make me a bit stressed, because you are going to be so much slower than anyone else spawning in their plane to push you, and they will have a shot at you. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good though. You've got the P-47 up. I can't see any planes now. I have a look. I know someone J'd out, so I know most likely someone has spawned in to come, you know, have a go at me. But you know, we're 2 kilometers out. I'm feeling okay, and then I see the P-47, you know, spray over there, and I'm like, come on, B-29, you need to get us there. And he lights me up, takes out my engines, out goes my wing. My bomb just goes, whatever, see you later, bro, and flies off. We crash, but we get the nuke. And just like that, we deliver our second nuke in 2 days with our first gameplay in the M51. And we deliver just a really good outcome for our first video. 11 kills, 2 assists. And with that, guys, I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace out.